For this year's Black Friday sale, the developers have brought back two event towers, the Toxic Gunner and Executioner. In this video, I'll be going over the Toxic Gunner as it actually received a pretty significant buff. I'm going to be reviewing its stats, values, and uses, and then give my opinion on if it's worth buying. Before I continue, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to join the Blue Head Mafia. It helps me out a lot and I really appreciate it. Also, if you want to talk to me, suggest videos, or maybe even be in one, consider joining the Blue Head Mafia Discord. It's a great time and I hope to see you there. The Toxic Gunner attacks a lot like the Soldier, shooting bursts of bullets against enemies. Also, at later levels, it poisons enemies and slows them down. At level 0, the Toxic Gunner costs 675 cash, deals 1 damage, has 10 range, fires 6 shots every second, has a fire rate of 0.12, melts 1% defense every shot maxing out at 50%, and has a DPS of 3.13. It can also damage lead enemies. At level 1, it costs a total of 875 cash, fires 6 shots every 0.5 seconds, and has a DPS of 4.55. At level 2, it costs a total of 1625 cash, has 12 range, and it now applies a poison effect for 6 seconds, which deals 2 damage every 0.5 seconds, and slows enemies by 10% every time the poison deals damage. The max slowness has not been confirmed yet, but the balancers have told me it's about 20 to 25%. At level 3, it costs a total of 4625 cash, deals 3 damage, has 14 range, shoots 10 bullets each burst, has a fire rate of 0.1, melts 2% defense per hit, and has a DPS of 24.8. Also, the poison now deals 3 damage per tick. At level 4, it costs a total of 13,875 cash, deals 4 damage, has 16 range, it no longer has to reload, and has a DPS of 50. Also, the poison now lasts 10 seconds and deals 5 damage per tick. Against a single target, the poison combined with the DPS of the tower adds up to be 60 DPS. That gives it a DPS cost ratio of 4.32 DPS per 1k spend, which is pretty decent. However, it gets even better against a crowd of enemies. Towards the late game, if you set the Toxic Gunner to random targeting, it's pretty reasonable to assume it's poisoning at least 8 enemies at a time. That'll deal 80 DPS from the poison, and when adding that to the Toxic Gunner itself, that's a total DPS of 130. That gives it a value of 9.37 DPS per 1k spent, which is incredible. Also, being able to slow enemies by 25% is a big deal. That basically allows you to deal 25% more damage to non-boss enemies, as they will remain in your range for a longer period of time. The only thing I would say it struggles with is final bosses, as it doesn't have a fantastic single target DPS. Regardless, because of its solid support, good crowd control, and fantastic value, I'm going to rank it as an A tier tower. It's still not overpowered, but I'd say it's a very good tower, and if you have the Robux, I'd recommend buying it. But what do you think? Are you going to purchase the Toxic Gunner? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be making a video on the Executioner soon, so if you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe. Also, I'm definitely not inside your closet right now, and I'll see you guys in the next video.